Hello and a very warm welcome to you. It's so good to have you on today's show, especially as we have a very special guest for you. We have Natasha Graziano, who is the #1 motivational speaker in the world, according to Forbes magazine and USA Today. She's an international best-selling author. She coaches the stars and she has a following online of 21 million. Here she is. Natasha Graziano, is it really you?
It's so sweet, girl. I am so happy to be here. Thank you.
Do you know what the story is? Is that I have followed Natasha's journey from literally day one. Like, I used to see you out at events and we'd be like, oh, hey, how are you? And just to watch your journey has been absolutely incredible. I don't even know where to begin, but just talk me through how you've come from where you were to literally where you are now.
Well, yeah, it's been quite a story. Like, when people look at me now, they're like, wow, I know your work, and like, you've done so much, you're a best-selling author, you speak on stage to tens of thousands of people, you know, but they have no idea that that overnight success was like 10 years in the making. You know,
Wow.
It was only in 2018 I had the biggest rock bottom of my life. It was only 2019 when I really didn't even want to be here. It was when I was in hundreds of thousands of debt. I was a single mom. I was struggling with an illness and I didn't know how to get out. I was like, how am I getting out of here? And it was from that rock bottom, it was from that place of darkness that I realized there has to be something greater. There has to be something better for me out there. And if I can go so low, then how high could I get? If I could be at an absolute rock bottom, can I transform this breakdown into my breakthrough?
Wow. And the thing is, it's one thing saying it, but to actually make it happen.
Yep. Well, you've watched my whole story.
I really have. I actually watched it when you moved to Canada. Like, was that a surreal experience for you?
So surreal. Like, I just decided, I was like, I really want to live in another country. I want to experience a different culture. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to end up in LA, but first I'm going to go where the world takes me and see where that is. And I ended up in Vancouver for a year and a bit. That was beautiful. I had an amazing time. It was where my ex-husband was, and we had a wonderful time there. And I then went from there to LA. But that was like my stepping stone. So I always say to people in life, what you want to manifest is here, right? Don't be scared when a stepping stone comes along first. Like, that's normal. Sometimes you want the big mansion, or you want the big move, or you want the bigger thing. But a stepping stone is the thing between here and here. And that's perfectly okay to have something that is like the point between you and it. And when you have that stepping stone, you just enjoy it, you love it, you embrace it, and it will catapult you onto the big thing.
So it's the little steps in between.
100%.
In the right direction.
100%.
That are really important. Because sometimes, I don't know about you at home, but it is overwhelming. You're like, oh, is that really going to ever happen? Because it just seems a million miles away. But actually, just those little steps in the right direction. Or sometimes when you've got that big goal, but you actually go, actually, I only need to do 10 things to get there. It's doable, right?
100%. When you decide, this is what I want to manifest. So if let's say you're earning, a couple of thousand, a few thousand a month, and you want to be earning $1 million a month. Well, first of all, how about you get to 10,000 a month? So on your vision board, and when you're scripting, which is what I did my whole TED talk on, scripting, you'll write down, I manifested, or I made $10,000 or pounds a month every month on autopilot. I made 10,000 pounds on autopilot every month. And you write it over and over and over. And you keep going, you keep going, you keep going until you achieve it, until you get there. Now, you might hit 5,000 and be like, wow, this is amazing, I'm building. But you're one step closer than being where you were. Because if you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got, and you'll stay in that same place. When we look around ourselves and we go, why is my life not changing? It's because you're not changing. You're expecting the world to just change for you. Honey, it don't change for you. You've got to make all your own moves. You've got to take the initiative. You've got to take the first step because nobody is going to do it for you.
It's so true because it's so easy to kind of go into that victim mentality and go, well, actually, it's everyone else and the world's rubbish and just life never happens anything good for me. But actually, when you start taking responsibility and go, actually, everything's reflecting back to me.
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay. So just, maybe just slightly changing your mindset can have like a massive impact on your day, right?
Really profound effect. Like you were saying before we started, we were chatting about, you now when you get in a funk or, something throws you off, you're down for an hour, but you're back up because you have the toolkit, you have the whole kit in your toolbox. You know how to get out of that bad mood. That's the difference because you've been following my work. You understand. You have that powerful, positive mind mentality and all the tools to go along with it. So when we're hit down, we're right back up. Yeah. It's no longer 2 days, which turns into a week, which turns into a month, and all of a sudden it's the end of the year, and you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Instead, people like us, because we know what we're doing and we focus on practicing these modalities to change our life, which is as simple as scripting every day, as simple as rewriting your story. And I'll tell you about it in a second for anyone who's wondering. But essentially, because we have this toolkit, we can get back up.
Yes.
Get out of those negative places faster.
Well, if you're wondering what we're talking about, the book is right here. Be it until you become it. This is my copy. We'll put details on the screen of how you can get your own copy. But we're going to go into Natasha's first song. Bit of Madonna. Love that.
Woohoo!
Why the song?
This song is just so, it's iconic. Madonna and Vogue, and it's been just such an inspiration to so many people in the world since it. And I love her, and I think that she's one of our real empresses, people who have really inspired millions of people. So I hope you enjoy.
Natasha's just having a cup of tea. It's not such a thing in LA, is it, to have a cup of tea?
No, they do have high tea, but it's really rare to find it. And no, I miss it so much. I come over here, I stock up on tea from my favorite brand. I put it in my suitcase, and back I go. Oh yeah, the word suitcase is not a thing. It's like with baggage.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But we want to talk about something that will help you at home, and I'm so interested to find this out as well. Something that we can all really get our teeth into in the new year. So, scripting. How do we even go about this? Because when I do it, I just feel like, am I actually writing the right thing?
So scripting is the art of writing down what you want in the past tense, as though it's already happened. For example, instead of saying, I wish to be promoted in my job in the new year, or I wish to make an extra $10,000 a month, what you do is you write, I got promoted to my dream job. I got $10,000 additional income every month on autopilot. And it felt amazing. I felt liberated, I felt free, I felt so relaxed. Why do we do that? Because if we write it down in the past tense, our brain doesn't know whether it's happened or not, and it treats it as a memory. And that's why we write down in the past tense. There's so much science behind it. If you don't believe me, you can go Google it and find out for yourself. My whole TED Talk has citations inside of it that you can see online. It went viral around how to script and why, and all the science behind it, if you want, and the brain and how it works. And what's really fascinating about scripting is when you do it pen to paper, you actually activate this part of your brain called the ventrolateral cortex.
So not on your notes on your phone, it needs to be written down.
By hand, ideally, you're more likely to achieve that goal faster. Okay. But it does work when you type as well. However, just pen to paper, you're so much more likely to achieve it. So that's why we do pen to paper. But it is so easy to do. Anyone can do it for free. Get a bit of paper, get a pen or a pencil, and start writing every single day in the past tense. And just describe aloud, like, what did it feel like to be that person? What did it feel like to achieve that goal?
So how long roughly are you writing for?
I write for like 11 minutes, 15 minutes.
So are we doing that in the morning or the night time?
I do every night, and I will do some mornings. I'll do more gratitude style in the past tense. So I script. I'm so happy and grateful now that I became before I was titled the #1 female motivational speaker in the world, in Forbes, in USA Today, I wrote down I became the #1 female motivational speaker. I was, suddenly recognized by millions of people, and I wrote my entire story. That's what scripting gives you, the gift of rewriting your story.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you are the director of your own movie.
You got it, girl. You're the director. You create the characters and you write your script.
It's as simple as that. It's like, okay, this is the play, and I'm going to put a sticky note on you, and this is what I'm believing is going to happen.
Absolutely.
Whereas sometimes we're assuming things about circumstances or people, and they literally will turn up how you assume.
Yeah, 100%.
So if we actually just turn it around and go, actually, no, my situation's great, and actually say there's someone at work you don't get on with, actually, no, they're really nice to me, for example. You can actually change the whole thing.
You can.
Like, as magical as that, can't you?
You can rewrite anything. So if you're having a situation play out in a way in the 3D right here that you don't like, and the reality is really it's just not impactful, it doesn't feel good, it's a problem, you just rewrite how it went. You rewrite the outcome. Actually, the situation turned around and these people at work started being so nice to me, and then the people that weren't nice disappeared and they stopped working there, and you know, my partner suddenly became the most affectionate, loving, compassionate human with pure honesty in his heart. You know, you can rewrite your story and you keep believing it, you keep writing it. That's the key.
That's what I was just about to say. Obviously, sometimes we just go, oh, I did it once, it didn't work. And it's like, no, you need to persist.
Yes.
And you need to believe it.
Yes.
And it's just changing that mentality around. Because I think what happens is, because we haven't been brought up in that world, like at school you're teaching, you know, maths, English, and you're like, this is quite alien to some people, because it is to me. And
Yes.
I'm only just getting my head around it. And I really want 2025 to be the year that I grasp this, because this is life-changing for so many people at home.
Yes, no, it is. And it really just takes that first day of doing it. So people always say, oh, I did it and it didn't work. Well, honey, when you go, I want to get the perfect body, whatever that looks like to you. Do you go to the gym once and come back with that dream body? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You have to go every single day or 3 times a week relentlessly to get that body that you particularly want, right? This is the same with anything. You want to manifest being a best-selling author. You want to manifest being a millionaire. You want to manifest all of these things in your life, meeting the love of your life. You have to commit. You have to do something that works. So whether that's meditation and visualization every day, which I do as well as scripting, or whether you've chosen scripting, which is the modality that I teach, now you've got to do it every single day. And once you do it for 21 days, you'll form a small habit. 66 days is for a larger habit. So if you really want to do it, and I'd say this is a small habit, 21 days, you'll continue for the rest of your life. It's as simple as that.
Questions. Do you know what? I've been so dying to see Natasha and ask these questions. It's a perfect opportunity. So do get in contact with both of us if you have any more questions, because I feel like it is just nailing it down and having the confidence to do it. Because now I've heard that, I'm like, no, I can do that. 100%. I can put that into my routine.
Yes, of course you can. Anyone can do it. You've just got to decide. And here's the thing. What you're writing, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's whether you believe it. Do you believe that you can be better? Do you believe you can turn your circumstance around? Because the person who's sitting there, there'll be 2 of you today. One of you sitting there skeptical going, no, I just don't think it's going to turn around for me. And the other one's going, you know what? I'm going to give it a go, and I think it is going to turn around. I bet you if I spoke to both of you in 2 months from now, the one who decided to take a chance on themselves and believe it, they're the one who will see the results.
Yeah,
The other person will be 2 months behind going, I'm still in the same place. Well, of course you are, because you're still doing the same things you were doing every day. You have to try something different if you want a different reality.
It's so true. And so many people that I've interviewed on this show, they haven't said it's law of attraction, but they're saying, I just knew I was going to be a big singer. I just knew I was going to be on EastEnders. Like, I hear it a lot. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's like manifestation. They're like, oh, well, no, we didn't really do that, but it kind of is without realising it.
100%. People who are successful, they knew in their heart. Like, I always knew I was going to use my voice.
Yeah, you have a feeling.
Like you knew you were going to be a famous TV host. Like you knew you were going to be all the things you are. And like, that's how it works. Like, we play in that realm of, I know I'm going to be, and then it happens.
So let's change it up. And I'm getting excited, are you? Because we have got another song from Natasha, Outcast, Hey Ya. Why this song?
Oh, are we allowed to sing it?
Yeah, of course.
Hey ya, woo, hey ya. I love it. It just makes you feel good. Like, listen to the words. Hey ya, like, hey ya, you can do this.
Here we go. Right, I want to talk about another thing that I've been dying to get hold of Natasha for, and that is visualisation. Now, I don't know about you at home, but sometimes I go, yeah, I'm going to do it, I'm going to change my life. And my mind sometimes just can't switch off from the 3D, what is happening right in front of us. And I just can't get into the zone. So do you have any tips for us?
Yes, oh my goodness, breath work. When you can't get into the zone, pause, either go for a walk, do some qigong, or go and do breath work and literally pause and do any round. You can Google, you can go on YouTube is the best, just type in breath work and you'll see what comes up. I like to do 3 to 5 minutes, probably 5 minutes of like enhanced breathing, like
Right.
something really specialized. Breath work is great for everyone. It's so good to re-oxygenate your cells, bring fresh oxygen around your body to your brain, and then that will shift your mood, shift your outer reality and help you focus. Then you can do a meditation. Because now you're focused and you do a deep guided meditation. I've got tons of them on YouTube, tons of them on my app. And you can just meditate and go deeper and visualize in the alpha state what you want. That's the key, really. We don't just want to do it here in the 3D, in the beta state of mind. Beta is a brainwave state, which is here while we're talking. But when we go deeper into our mind, we go into the alpha state, we go even deeper into the theta state. And all of a sudden, we're able in these states of mind, theta is super deep, but you're able in the alpha state even, before you get to the theta, to really visualize what you want and redesign your outer reality.
Okay, so are we going to the end to say, I want to live in LA? Are we going right there, or are we going to like the little steps that could get us there in the longer term?
So you are going for the ultimate goal. So what is your ultimate goal? Let's say for you, you're saying you want to move to LA or you want to go live in a beautiful, hot, sunny country with palm trees. All right, now we reverse engineer it. So you have to go back. What was the step that I did right before that? So you just sit on paper and go, what was the step I did right before I moved to LA? Well, I went and got myself the visa, or I went and made the move that I needed to do with the right people, get the job, whatever it was, the step before. And then go back the step before that. Well, I got those contacts through. So now you've got a plan of action of things that you need to do in the physical realm.
Yeah.
And then we're going to manifest. So I want to say, instead, I want to move to LA. Well, that's very vague. Your brain will procrastinate and do it in 2 years. So I want to move to LA by July the 30th, 2026. You put a date in time and space and you decide exactly when you want to achieve it by.
Yeah, I love that because, like you say, sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, that would be a lovely dream, and you're just not in the state of mind to take it seriously. But like you say, when you've got that date on it, it just changes it completely up.
It does, absolutely. So I wake up and I focus on my mission, I focus on my goal, I focus on my dreams.
Is it every morning, every night, or just? Every
morning and all the time. However, things happen in our day like bills and admin and calls that we have to take and things we have to do. So what I do, as I was saying earlier, I compartmentalize everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus for the first 2 hours of my day. It is about me. Meditation, it's about visualization, it's about journaling, scripting, right? And that is so important in my day. I won't even take my phone off airplane mode until I've done all of these practices.
Wow. So what time are you getting up to do that?
Oh, it depends. If I wake up at 7, I'll start my day at 9.
Okay.
It depends if I've got a little baby. So if she's with me, then I'm going to have to wait till she has her first nap, and then I might begin. I've got to get my son to school. I'm still a mum. I've still got to do all of the stuff, but I just find ways. For somebody else, they'll get up now at 5 a.m. and do this till 7. So whatever works for you.
Yeah.
So sometimes
we've all got different lives.
So sometimes I'll start this at 9 till 10:30 only. It just depends on my day and how it is. Okay, so then after that, I'm now going to go and do my work day and the things I need to do. And then I'm going to be like, what am I? But I already did the working on my dream in that first 2 hours, but now I'm going to take action towards it. So in my day, I'm going to be like, okay, let me pause. What are 3 things I can do, small, tiny things that I can do towards my ultimate goal? What is my ultimate goal? And we said for you, it was to move to LA. So what are 3 things you can do today to get you closer to that goal? Now, guess what? 3 goals a day for the entire year is 1,095 goals a year. Honey, you already moved. Do you get it?
I love it. When you put it like that, it's so doable.
So doable.
And I think I saw something on your Instagram. Was it like the fake phone call technique?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up. I love it so much. The fake phone call is like having a phone call with your friends. You often see me if I'm walking on the beach or I'm walking in the park, wherever I am, people will be like, it look like I'm on the phone. I'm not on the phone. 9 times out of 10, I'm not on the phone. I'm having a phone call that I want to have with my friend when I've achieved a certain goal. So it sounds like this. It'll be like, Hayley, oh my God, guess what? And you'd be like, what? And I'd be like, You won't believe it. I made $10 million this year. And then you'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I hit it. I finally got it. I kept going so close to it for so long and I got it. I got the 10M. It was so good. And now guess what? I'm able to go and build another school in Guatemala because I already built one, right? So I'm like, which I actually did in the real life.
Yeah.
And so I'm like in the phone to you. So I'm now telling you about the school that I built. And I'm telling you about all the things I did with the money. And I'm like, it feels so good. And I always pretend that you're asking me, how did it feel?
Yeah.
Like it felt so good, Hayley, because I was able to just actually be free financially and not worry anymore and just actually go and help people in the way that I was here to do. I feel so good.
Yes.
And when you do that phone call to a friend all the time, your brain doesn't know again whether it's happened or not, and it treats it as a memory.
See, we can all do that. And also, my friend and I, we used to have this thing, we had a little MN, magic message, and then we'd voice note each other. Like, oh my God, guess what? I just had the best news.
Same thing.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did
there
the
you
same back to
go.
me. And it's amazing how you do get into that role of like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
it just lifts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It lifts that vibration and
100%.
gets you in the zone.
You just have to believe it. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not, it's whether you believe it. However it is, whether you do the fake phone call, the little voice note to a friend, and you write it down. When you write it down, your brain just sees it over and over and over, and repetition is the key to neuroscience. And when you write it down continuously and over, you are so much more likely to achieve it than if you just don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go into a bit of Nelly. It's a bit of a throwback, isn't it?
Dilemma. We love this one.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, and I need you, Nelly.
I want to talk about affirmations because I feel like, again, this is something so easy that we can all do. And it's that voice talking to you. And sometimes you're like, oh, I don't even want to say the word can't. I'm not even going to say that again.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we talk ourselves out of things, but actually those positive affirmations can really help, can't
Yes,
they?
no, they can. Well, here's how you create affirmations. People always think that we should just say generic ones. Really, what we should do is ones that work for us. And here's how you work them out. So you look at what your fears are and you write the exact opposite thing of that. You say the exact opposite thing of your fear. So if your fear is, I am worried about money, that I'm not going to make ends meet, then your exact opposite affirmation of that is, I am certain that I will always make enough money. I always make enough money every month so I can get by comfortably and abundantly.
Yeah.
So you write the opposite thing. I feel unworthy of love, if that's your fear. I am worthy of being loved and the world adores me. And those are your affirmations. So every single day when you wake up, you want to do affirmations that feel good for you. You want to stand in the mirror and be like, I'm worthy, I'm loved, I'm confident, I'm magnetic, I'm successful, people adore me, everything I touch turns to gold, and I make so much money.
So are we doing them in the mirror or are we doing them as we walk along the street? Like, how would you recommend that?
You can do them wherever. I don't think there's a set method for
Right.
this. I think it works in every way. I love to go to the mirror when I wake up and I'm like, you're amazing. Because I always hear from so many friends of mine that I coach who are billionaires or centimillionaires, and they make a lot of money. And a lot of stars I look after, they all say the same thing. It's the mirror talk. They talk to themselves and they're like, you're awesome. Like, you've got
okay.
this. And on days when I'm not feeling good, I can see it in my eyes and my soul.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, baby, you're okay. And I call myself baby. So my nickname to myself is baby. So like, what's your nickname to your beautiful inner child? How do you call yourself? What do you say? And that's really what we're looking at. Like, how do you make yourself feel your best?
It's funny, isn't it? Because over the years, I guess things happen, circumstances happen that might have knocked your confidence. You know, it could have been in love, it could have been with your career, it could have been with money. But how funny we just actually need to turn that around because it's those words, isn't it, that are manifesting.
100%. Our words become things. Your thoughts become things. The thoughts that you think become your outer reality because your thoughts become your feelings. And your feelings become your actions. And your actions are your habits. And what are your habits? It's you. So your thoughts literally become who you are.
And it's interesting that I would say to you, oh my God, you look amazing, I love your energy. And that comes so naturally to me to praise you. But sometimes on ourselves, we're like, oh, am I good enough to do that? And I don't know where that's come from. Do you think it's just over the years that things have happened and that sometimes we lose it and we don't know how to get there? We haven't had the tools to know this.
It's partly that, and it's also circumstances we've been through. Maybe in our formative years, between the ages of 0 to 7, a memory was impressioned into our subconscious mind that we weren't good enough. Maybe your teacher told you, you're not good at that, or your mother told you, you'll never be good enough, or you'll never have enough money, and all of these things become our habits. They become memories which come out in later life, in relationships, and this and this. And so we have to look back at what went on that we can redo in our mind, that we can forgive, let go of. Or perhaps in a relationship later on, something really affected you that's stored as a trauma, however small it might have been, it's stored as a trauma in your mind, and it comes out as a lack of worthiness later on, which becomes a lack of confidence. So you have to go back and be like, I was worthy, I just had a mishap that day. Like, I'm great, I really am. You have to start to really convince yourself that you are amazing and that you are confident, because confidence can be taught. Confidence is something I believe we put on like an outfit. Like every day I put my outfit on and I'm like, yep, I feel good, and now I put on my confidence too. Just like a hat, like an outfit. So put on your confidence every day.
Yeah, and like I was saying before about sort of blaming other things, I saw something with you where you do the point and the fingers are pointing back at you.
Yes.
And it's like, sometimes it's just so easy to go, oh, everything happens to me. And like, you've got on this like downward domino spiral.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're sitting there eating Doritos, watching EastEnders, and you're like, oh, I might as well just watch the 10 o'clock news. And like, oh my God. And you've gone to bed like that. And then you're wondering why you wake up and you need 2 Nurofen because you've got yourself into some kind of weird coma state of negativity. And I know there's people I've spoken to, or people that have reached out to me on Instagram, and it's so hard. Life can be tough, but you know what? We're tougher. We've got that power.
Tougher. It's just as easy to spiral upwards into a good mood as it is to spiral downwards. When something hits you, emotionally, physically, mentally, in any way, are you going to let that mood spiral real down? Or are you going to take yourself up and learn from it? So I say, okay, that thing could be bad. So I use the Dale Carnegie method, very very old writer, wrote the book, How to Worry Less and Live More. And he says that when you worry about something, it takes away your joy, and it does, it steals your joy. So what he teaches is when you worry about something, what we do is we run around going, oh my God, what's the worst thing that could ever happen? And it is going to be the worst thing, oh my God, and we think about all the worst circumstances and potentials. But what we should do is go straight to what the actual factual worst case scenario is. And then we go, what's the worst case scenario? Okay, it's this, all right. From there, so what's the worst case scenario? Now, how can I better that worst case scenario? How can I better that? And that's where we go from.
Yeah, I know, because when we say about it, it seems so simple, but sometimes when you're there by yourself, you're just like, oh, you've created this whole blow-up story, haven't you?
Yeah.
But actually, that's why it's so important to just have these little tools, because even like just changing one little thing can make a massive difference in your life, can't it?
Massive
And sometimes I find like there's different areas that we're more confident in. Like for me, like career-wise, I just know it. I'm like, no, I just know good things are going to happen. I know I can do it. Like I really believe in, but there's other areas that I kind of go, I'm not sure. And they're the ones that we need to home in on.
Absolutely. We have to focus on the areas where we see chaos. We have to focus on the areas where we don't have it all together. That's what we focus on, so that it will get us through to the next side. Because the area where you have abundance and good things going on, you've put so much attention to. So put that same attention onto the areas that need it.
Yeah. Now, I think I've got all my questions out, because I've been dying to ask these for years. So I really hope it's helped you at home as well. And like we said, contact us on Instagram. We'll put details on the screen below, because I feel like I'm having a lovely little educational lesson here. But I want to talk about what's coming up for you, Natasha. I know there's going to be big plans for 2025. Talk us through them.
So many wonderful things. I am expanding my podcast even bigger to reach, and we reach millions of people with it, but we're aiming now to really plug into like tens of millions with it. I think we already do through my audience anyway, but we want to really expand it again to reach even more households and people, which is beautiful. I am going to be doing my tour where I'm on stage in 10 cities across the States, and maybe even I'll come to London, which would be awesome again.
Yes.
Pop by and get to do a big stage here, which I would love. I am going to be doing more of the world tour with it as well. I'm speaking in Egypt. I'm speaking in Monaco. I have so many wonderful stages coming up in the new year. And I am writing my new book on scripting, which I'm so excited for. So hopefully this one will be the, prequel to the next one.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I've got my late night talk show coming to TV. It's so exciting. It's with my godfather, who is the producer, the founder of E, Larry Namer. He founded E, the channel. So he's the exec producer on my show. And we've put together a really cool show, which is awesome. And we are going to bring it to the world.
And have exciting guests on there.
Oh, yeah.
And
it was so cool. The pilot was so fun. We shot it with all my friends. We had will.i.am on it. We had King Batch on it, Gigi Gorgeous, Mary Bonnet from Selling Sunset, Romain Bonnet. It was fun.
Wow.
That was just the pilot.
And do you know what? You've got all that written down, all your plans, is that right?
Yeah. Everything.
That's
This is already written down.
All the sets.
Yeah,
I love
everything
it.
is already written down. So yeah, just expanding to reach more people.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go to Spice Girls.
Woohoo!
Wannabe, what an absolute throwback. And also, how can you be sad to this song? You literally have to dance to it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yo, tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you.
Natasha, I don't actually want to let you go because I want you in my life the whole time. Go, Natasha, is this right? I just want to say thank you on behalf of everyone at home and myself, because I don't think we've ever had anyone on the show where we've learned so much and it's been so inspirational.
Thank you.
So I feel like what you have is a gift, and you've given that energy to us today. For me personally, is exactly what I needed today. It couldn't have come at a better time. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I love your show. I think it's reaching so many wonderful humans, and I hope that this has reached you today. I hope that whoever is needing this, I aim to inspire one person a day, so I hope it was you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got 3 bits of advice that we can take home with us today, what would it be?
Okay, number 1, light people's candles. Every day you get a choice. You're going to light somebody's candle or you're going to blow it out. So go and light somebody's candle today. So they go home and light their spouse's candle, and their spouse goes home and lights their colleague's candle, and they go on and on and on and on. And you light up the whole world with one kind deed. So it could be you smiled at a stranger. It could be that you had a wonderful conversation with somebody. It could be that you gave a gift to somebody. You gave to charity. What did you do today that was adding value to the world, to somebody's life? Because that somebody means that your karma will be amazing, because they will go on and do it to the next person, and so on and so forth. And all of that is coming back to you. That's number 1. Number 2, believe in yourself. And it sounds so cliche, but honestly, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is ever going to believe in you. And number 3, take inspired action every single day. 3 small steps, as I said earlier, to what you want to do. That's 1,095 goals a year. Take the steps today and you will have achieved your goal.
Well, we're all going to be reporting back to you, Natasha. We're all off to do our homework right now.
Yeah, they can DM me and send me a message and tell me how it's working for you, or any questions you have. I actually love to get back to people personally in my DMs.
Do you know what? That is such a special thing, isn't it? When people go, oh, I can't believe you've got back to me. But people have said to me before, oh, shall I run your social media? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's that personal touch, isn't it?
Totally.
And I know you're so good like that.
Yeah, I know. I have a whole team that run all my socials, but I personally go in my DMs and I go through everything, and I'm like, I really try and get back to people.
That's amazing. Well, we're going to put Natasha's Instagram on the screen. Don't forget, you can get a hold of Natasha's book.
Yes.
And a new one coming out soon.
Absolutely.
But Natasha, I just want to say that I'm going to cry now. You're going to finish crying. No, thank you. So you've honestly no idea, like I said before, how much I needed this today. And here we go.
Love you, Queen. You're
Natasha
amazing.
Graziano, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. You are an amazing host, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Oh, huge thank you, Natasha Graziano. What an absolute special treat to have Natasha on the show, especially for the new year. It's a big thank you, and thank you to you at home for supporting the show. It really is much appreciated. Thank you. Now, I will see you same time, same place next week. I'm Hayley Palmer. Stay safe, and I will see you then.
All the single ladies.